If you wanted to learn more about Monmouth County, you've come to the right place. This week, I am speaking with Jenna Cavadas of eXp Realty. She's a real estate agent that covers Monmouth County, New Jersey. And Jenna's going to share with us all about the happenings in Monmouth regarding home prices, taxes, all that fun stuff. So you're going to want to watch this one. Let's get started. Okay, so welcome, Jenna. Thank you so much. This is so exciting. I'm so glad to be doing this interview with you. How are you today?
I'm so glad to be here. Thanks so much for inviting me, Jackie. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good for a Monday morning. After a snowstorm. Well, sort of.
Got a lot of snow. We didn't get any down here.
No, it snowed and then it changed over to rain. And now it's like, there's ice on the road, typical New Jersey weather, right?
Yeah.
So Jenna, you live and you sell real estate in Monmouth County. Now, for my viewers, I want to explain, I do a lot of like Northern New Jersey. Monmouth County, I would say that's kind of like the beginning of the Jersey Shore area, right? That's the first, I know for me growing up and going down to like Spring Lake, Manasquan, like that's all Monmouth County. So that's like the first part of the Jersey Shore section of New Jersey. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Starting from probably around like the Long Branch area, I think is where most people would say the Jersey Shore starts.
Yep. Do you cover all the towns in Monmouth or are there specific ones you cover?
Well, I think probably like you in Bergen, you can go anywhere, within that area, right? But I do. So our MLS actually covers Monmouth and Ocean County, which is obviously a very big area. I do mostly southern Monmouth, kind of the shore town areas, and then the northern area of Ocean County. So from say like Bradley Beach-ish down to Point Pleasant, and then maybe just over a little bit into Wall Township, Brielle, those kind of areas. I can send you a little map if it would be helpful.
Yeah.
But of course I can go anywhere, but those are the areas that I probably spend most of my time. I will say I also know Middletown really well because I grew up there, which is more northern Monmouth County.
Right. Okay.
So,
all right, cool. So do you deal with any, like, you don't deal with any shore rentals or anything like that? You're just specifically selling homes down there, right?
I do. I have done rentals or shore rentals, but it's kind of its own beast, I guess I would say. So there are definitely realtors who focus primarily or only on rentals. We have a few big names that do pretty much 100% rentals, especially seasonal.
Right. Okay. All right, cool. So the big question is, what's the market like in Monmouth County?
I would bet that it's probably similar to you guys up there. So we're just really tight on inventory. We thought last year was bad. It's really bad right now. And I have a lot of buyers, but there's just not enough to go around. And so we're just seeing, the price is staying high, even though we're seeing interest rates go up a little bit. Everyone's kind of just crossing their fingers and hoping that the spring market is going to be better. I don't know if I really see that happening, but we have very tight inventory right now, just not a lot on the market. And the prices have stayed consistent from, I guess August, September of last year. They haven't jumped crazy like we saw from 2020 to 2021. Is that what you guys are seeing?
Yeah, we're seeing the same thing up here right now. The inventory is just like, this is the lowest. I was in my office this week and we're all just sitting there like, like there's nothing to show. There's no homes. It's scary a little bit because, I got people, I have a ton of buyers, like nothing out there.
And I think the people that would be selling, I don't know, maybe they're just staying put because I don't know. I'm sure there's lots of different reasons. I don't know if you've heard from different potential sellers up there, but I think people are reevaluating how they want to spend the next 5 to 10 years. Whereas if it wasn't for our current health situation, I think maybe they'd be moving a lot more.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I do. But I agree with you. I think, and I'm the eternal optimist. My clients laugh at me, but I'm the eternal optimist. I really think the spring, once we get past this Omicron stuff, I really think the spring is going to take off. I'm waiting for the floodgates to open. I really am, but it'll happen. It's got to improve, but what I'm hearing about the Jersey Shore, a lot of people from the city, because now that everything has changed as far as the whole work from home situation, a lot of people are working from home. A lot of people are flocking to the Jersey Shore from New York City. Did you experience that during the pandemic?
I did experience that. I also experienced, I would say, a lot of people experience that. I didn't have myself a ton of New York clients. I actually had more North Jersey clients
Hmm.
contacting me, and I still do. So I actually just had two people reach out from New York. They said no end in sight to the work from home orders. So I think it's still happening, not as much as it was at that time, because I think there are some businesses trying to go back in person, but now, with the new strand, it's a little bit difficult. But I
Yeah.
like I said, I do have people contacting me coming from New York still, and it was the floodgates were open definitely most of last year.
Yeah, I know, I heard that. I could not believe because one of my coworkers, she's been looking to get a place down in the shore area. I think she ended up buying, I think near Long Beach Island, but the bidding wars, like we thought it was bad here. I heard down the shore it was outrageous because everybody was like, "Oh, we can," and I'm not surprised. North Jersey people are moving down there too because then they can work from home.
Yeah.
Why not be by the beach? So
I think also we have some buyers from, like you said, New York, North Jersey. You can get more money, get more house for your money down here, I think, for the most part.
yeah.
And we had a lot of people when they were moving from North Jersey or New York. Actually, the second home was a new thing again. A lot of people were getting rid of their second homes down here, and then all of a sudden it became a thing again. So people had that expendable income, or they were selling something that they didn't want or need anymore to come
Hmm.
down and buy something at the shore. So we definitely saw that happening as well. People just buying a second home, not necessarily getting rid of something, but just having another getaway.
Right. Yep. Interesting. Let's talk about the home prices in Monmouth County. What can one expect to pay?
Oh, at really anything. I mean, you can get something probably for like low 300s in certain towns, and you could spend 8, 10 million in other towns. So, like I'm sure with, most counties and Bergen County too, I'm sure there's a wide range. I would say our average price point is somewhere between 550 and 750. Those are our average price points for maybe a 3 or 4 bedroom home with maybe 2,500 ish square feet. And then, our shore towns, the areas that I focus more on, especially the towns that are most desirable, we're seeing numbers closer to 1 million, which is pricing out a lot of our first time buyers, of course. And then even some of our move up buyers are having a tough time with the price points because inventory is so low. And of course, supply and demand is
Right.
working.
Yeah. So yeah, the Jersey Shore is not cheap. That's for sure.
It's
Um,
definitely not cheap. There are some towns, if you go into like the western towns of Monmouth County, like, towards Pennsylvania, we
mhm.
have like Freehold that's a little bit more reasonably priced. Farmingdale is a little bit. So there's some towns that you can get a little bit more for your
Yeah.
money. But for the most part, our prices here are pretty high right now.
Right. And Freehold, that's a beautiful town too. I mean, it's not that far from the beach, so you could, and you have more land because I imagine the closer you are to the shore, you're not going to get as much property,
Yeah,
It's like
that's a
same
really
thing up here, the further out you go, you get more land. So
yeah.
it's the same thing there, right?
Yeah, it's the same thing. And Freehold is a nice town. It's a very big town. Wall Township is
Yep.
also another big town that, prices are a little bit more reasonable in some parts of,
Right.
of the town. So, but yeah, as you get closer to the shore, there's less and less yards, sometimes even no yard at all.
Right.
Sometimes the houses, especially for communities where we have builders building, they're building very much to as close to the property line as they can. Obviously they have to fit within the setbacks, but yeah, we're seeing a lot more, less outdoor space, more house.
Right. So is there a lot of new construction going on down there?
We do have new construction in certain areas. So, like most of New Jersey, it's just kind of busting at the seams. So, we have a new community going up near me, right up against the highway. So, the places where, before maybe no one would look to build because it might not be a place where people would buy, but now it's
Yeah.
the only land left.
Wow.
So there are a lot of new builds going up in those areas, and then also the shore towns that are much older, and have a lot older homes like Bradley Beach, like Spring Lake. There's some older homes that are now being knocked down and rebuilt. Manasquan's another one. There's a lot of rebuilds going on there because these are really desirable towns people will pay a lot more for.
Oh, definitely. My in-laws had a house in Spring Lake. They just sold it last year. I won't even tell you what they got for it. I mean, it was literally a 3-bedroom little bungalow thing, and a
Yeah.
builder bought it. They paid ridiculous amount of money. I couldn't believe what they paid for it, but they
Mhm.
are going to put a 7-bedroom house on this small piece of land,
Yeah.
and it's 4 blocks from the beach.
Hmm.
And oh my God, I can't believe what they're building.
And
And
the price I'm sure will double.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
1,000%. It
Yeah.
will. It's amazing. Well, especially Spring Lake. Spring Lake is just gorgeous.
It's
I mean,
beautiful, and people want to get in. My understanding, really, of that town, what I know of it, there's, it's a lot of people who've been there for a long time, or the house has been passed down, like your situation,
mhm.
and then eventually, it goes on to be sold. But it's not a big town. It's one school, K-8 school. There's not a lot of families. It's a second home. It's more of a
Yes.
second home town. So, and yes, like you said, it is a very desirable place. So if you have the money, people absolutely will try to get into Spring Lake.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and think nothing spent drop a couple $1,000,000 on a house there.
Exactly.
It's right?
Hopefully one day we'll be there.
Right, yes, we will. Absolutely, Jenna. Keep that
We'll do it.
positive
Yeah,
attitude.
we'll be recording this from our house on the beach. Not to
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. With that's it. I'm holding you
Yeah.
to that. The
Yeah.
next one we do, it's gonna be from our beach houses in Spring Lake.
Mhm.
Anyway, so the big thing about I wanna talk about too are the property taxes. So Bergen County, I think, is like one of the highest in the country. So what what are the property taxes in Monmouth? I know there's a pretty big difference.
Yeah, I feel better now. I mean, let's face it. Like, if you're coming to New Jersey, either you already know the taxes are crazy, or you live here and you know it and you're complaining about it.
Yep.
And so people definitely have to know that about New Jersey in general. But
Yeah.
our property taxes, I would say, average probably around 9K a year. Um, and if you're, in a Spring Lake in a multi-million dollar home, you're probably paying somewhere between 14 to 20K a year. I
Oh
know
my
it's a big range,
god.
and I always tell people, you have to remember that 60% of our tax bill goes to the school system. We have some of the best schools in the nation. So if
Yes.
you are going to be raising children and you want them to get a good education, you get what you pay for,
You
you know.
do.
So, and Bergen County has some of the best schools in the nation. So I'm not super surprised that the taxes are also some of the highest in the nation.
Yeah.
So, our average in New Jersey is 20K per student to
Yeah.
educate, and the national average is 13. So we're spending 7,000 more dollars on every student. So that's a big
Yes.
deal. So we do have some really great schools in Monmouth County. I know Bergen County beats us out on multiple lists, but we do also have some good schools, and that's where our tax money goes. But generally speaking, to answer your question, about 9 or 10 is
Yeah.
the average.
That's a bargain. That is a bargain compared to here.
Oh, tell my buyers that.
Yeah.
It's,
Telling
it's all,
you.
it's all relative, right? I mean,
It is. It
yeah,
is. But yeah, but it's a good point because that's the same thing I tell people and I talk about on my channel that like majority of that money is going back into the schools and it
yeah,
shows.
right.
It really shows. Like my kids have gotten an excellent education here in Mawa. No, but anywhere you go in the state, I think you're going to get a decent education here in New Jersey. I mean, you're right. We're number one in the nation. So
Yeah.
that's what you are paying for. So, all right. Good to know. Good to know about those taxes. Do you find a lot of people retiring who live in New Jersey going to retiring in Monmouth?
Yeah, I do. I think that more so I've seen it now more than before. I don't know, necessarily all the reasons. I think a lot of people want to stay close to their grandkids.
Yeah.
I think we still have a lot of people going south, but I actually also find that some of the retirees, they're in a pretty good financial position. So they're actually buying that house in North Carolina or Virginia or Florida and then keeping something up here as well. So
Yes.
I think it used to be that you would just go and then you'd come home and visit kids maybe once in a while and you'd do whatever, stay with them or get a hotel. But now they're able to afford both. So we do see I have several buyers who have actually come from different parts of New Jersey and retired down here to be closer to kids or be closer to the beach, just have more of the lifestyle that they're looking for.
Exactly. It's so funny because my sister-in-law and her husband just a few years ago, all their kids are grown now. They ended up settling in Spring Lake. They bought a place in Spring Lake and now the kids come see them and the grandkids and they love it. They love being there. They don't have another place in the South. I think that's the next step. They're looking to get something else, but it's very true that you're seeing that a lot. So now are there 55 and over communities in
Oh,
Monmouth?
tons. Yeah, tons.
Okay.
I mean, we have, I would say there's probably a 55 plus community in most of our towns.
Okay.
And some towns even more so than others. Like we always joke, like Monroe is like sort of like the 55 plus mecca
Really?
of our area. So there are a lot there, but we do have others in other areas, and we have some that are being built right now as well because we're seeing, sort of this group of people stay here. So there are 55 plus communities actually being built right now, and there's a
Right.
wide range of amenities too. So some communities that are maybe priced a little bit more reasonably maybe might not have as many amenities, or as an older community, but
Yeah.
maybe it's more affordable for some people and maybe all they need. And then it goes up from there. I mean, we do have some 55 plus communities where the homes are $800,000.
Oh my God.
So
Wow.
I don't know many retirees that want to spend that, or maybe have that kind of money. Maybe.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah. So I think that there's a mix, right? Because they also want the luxury. They still want to feel like they're living kind of like a nice
Yeah.
lifestyle. They don't want to be cramped into like a tiny place. So that's why a lot of these communities are being built. And a lot of the 55 plus communities that are being built right now are single family homes
Yeah.
in the communities, not so much attached like we see with a lot of the older 55 plus communities.
Right. So what's the average cost for a home in those communities?
I would probably say the average is somewhere around four to five.
Okay. All right.
Hmm.
That's decent.
Yeah,
That's
for
decent.
2 or 3 bedrooms.
Yeah. That's all right. That's cool. You have a lot that will probably be our snowbirds are going to go to Florida for the winter. But for those who don't, what do you do in the winter in Monmouth County?
Probably a lot of what you do in Bergen. I mean, people do. We have obviously, like, if you know a little bit about Jersey, we have, ski resorts in New Jersey.
Yeah. Yep.
We have indoor malls now. It's not in Monmouth County, but we have the American Dream, which,
Yep.
is probably more of a family attraction. Believe it or not, people walk the boardwalk all year round.
I
And people,
told
and people, they just bundle up, people run. I run the boardwalk in the winter. It's just beautiful. I love that feeling of like just being there with the locals. So, we have some really great spas in our area. So people will probably go to the spa,
oh, cool.
and things that probably exist in your area too, bowling, we have indoor ice rinks, the movies, of course.
Yeah.
We have theaters down here and concert halls. There's always music and plays and musicals going on. So things like that, I would say, are also pretty popular in our area during the winter.
Right. Is there a lot of entertainment in Asbury Park during the winter too? Do you
Oh
know?
yeah, there's always stuff going on. Yeah, we have several music venues there. There's always stuff going on. Sometimes people just show up. I mean, I've never been able to see it, but the Stone Pony, Bruce Springsteen shows up like once or twice a year. So
I know.
there's
It's
always,
like that's crazy. So
yeah,
that's a fun thing. Like you never know. You're gonna get Stone Pony and
yeah.
Bruce may be there. Who knows?
Yeah, and people are always out and about. And, we're used to the cold here, people that have lived here, their whole lives. If you're coming from a warmer state, it might be a little bit harder, but
Yeah.
we don't let the cold really stop us from enjoying those things that we also enjoy in the warmer weather. I mean, we have festivals and things that are more indoors, but we have beer festivals and things like that happen too.
Oh, that's cool. I need to know about that. I
Yeah.
would I would come down to check that out.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on down. We'll go together.
For sure. Let's do that. So now, are there any particular towns that are more popular with the retirees, or they're just going wherever they can find a house in these communities?
Yeah, I would say Monroe is pretty popular because
Monroe.
there's so many other communities there. People that want to be closer to the beach, there's Spring Lake has a community, Manasquan has a community, Wall Township has a community. People really want to be as close to the beach as they can get, so those are pretty popular. And Monroe is probably a little bit, more reasonably priced, so people will go there.
Now, how far is Monroe from the beach?
Probably about, I would say maybe 25-ish,
Oh, that's not bad.
25-ish, yeah.
That's not bad at all. Like if you and you know what I would like me personally, what I would like about that, you're away from all the summer shore traffic and the
Yeah.
crowds and yeah. Like if
Yeah,
I'm,
I think that's probably it. I mean, and like I said, it's reasonable price. There's other communities, but yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I mean, me, I'm about 10 minutes to the beach now, so it's hard to be further away, but I think it is reasonable to be about 25, 30 minutes. It's
yeah.
not that bad at all.
For sure. I mean, for me, if I want to go spend a day, like if I want to go to Long Branch or even go to Spring Lake, I'm looking about an hour, 15 minutes, something like
Mhm.
that. I mean, it's not terrible to do it for a day trip, but if I was to settle down there, I wouldn't mind being 25 minutes away. That's
Yeah.
fine. Cause
Come on down, we'll find you a place.
all right, cool. Awesome. I already have a great agent to work
Yeah,
with. I like,
exactly.
yes, yes. Oh my God. I think that pretty much it. Is there anything else you can tell us about Monmouth that I didn't touch on? Like anything you that what like what do you love the most about it besides being by the beach?
I love the proximity. For me, I've always lived in Monmouth County. I love Monmouth County. I'm in New York City in an hour and 15 minutes, which I know you're a lot closer. I'm in New York City in an hour and 15 minutes. I can be in Philly in an hour. I can be in Cape May in an hour and a half or so.
Yeah,
I think that's the drive. So I just love feeling like nothing's really ever too far. And of course, the beach, obviously, having that close by is amazing. I'm used to that. So, and there's always things going on here. So I really love it. If I wasn't living in Monmouth County, I'd probably be in Bergen County because I love all the hikes up there. I'm
yeah.
traveling up there in the spring, summer, fall, all the time to go, to the Ramapo Reserve there's just so many up there. But that's what I love about Monmouth, just the proximity. You're kind of equidistant from so many great places.
For sure. Now we could this I just want to touch on that really quick. Going into the city, do you take the train from there? How do you get there?
Yeah, so there's several direct trains. We have
Mhm.
the North Jersey coast is here. That's our train line. So I go from Long Branch, goes direct to the city, which I'm about maybe a 15-minute drive there. And then if you are south of Long Branch, you have to get like a connection.
Yep.
But it's really not that bad. It maybe adds another 20 minutes to your trip or so.
Right.
So most places within Monmouth County can get to New York City within an hour, 15 minutes on the train. And we also have bus. We also have a ferry, which is a really nice ride. It's a little bit
Oh, I
more,
forgot about the ferry. How long does that take?
it's a little less probably. And that takes you into the Highlands, which is again a little bit more in North Monmouth County, but like about an hour.
Really? And
Yeah.
that brings you is that bringing you into like downtown Manhattan? Like where the World Trade is or the Freedom
Yeah.
Towers?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah.
Wow. Oh my God, I didn't know that. Wow. I
Yeah. It's
don't
really
know.
nice. My sister takes it all the time when she comes home.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Now that's great. So Monmouth is definitely a good option for
Oh,
sure.
it's a great option. I think a lot of people that don't, that maybe want to be by the beach and not have too long of a commute. I
Yeah.
mean, Middletown is probably one of the largest commuter towns that we have in the
Yeah.
central area of New Jersey. Very popular for commuters because it's direct train, hour and 15 minutes.
Do you hear my husband? He's out there snow blowing. I'm gonna kill him.
I don't hear him at all. If you
I
haven't,
hear him, and it's
no.
probably getting recorded right now,
I'm
but that's
surprised.
okay.
No, I'm surprised that my dog hasn't barked.
This is
The
this
things,
is
the things, the noises we pay attention to, right? When we're
I know, but it's like, but now people get to know this is life in Jersey. He's out snow blowing the slush off our driveway right now.
So
So
we are
anyway,
not. We have no snow here right now. I'm not snow blowing or shoveling. And
well,
usually, I know North Jersey, you guys get a lot more snow than we do.
yeah, we do. So yeah, that's another plus to Monmouth County. You're not going to hear the snowblower all the time. Oh my
Exactly. Yeah.
God.
No,
Um,
I love our area. There's lots going on, and I think anytime anyone wants to come down and visit, if they want a tour for the day, happy to be your tour guide.
yeah, well, I'll be definitely catching up with you once the weather gets warmer. And next time you decide to come up to Bergen, let me know because I love to hike too.
Oh,
I
good.
talk about the Ramapo Reservation. I've talked about a lot of my videos. So,
Oh, awesome.
girl, let's get together and
Yes,
we'll hit the trails. I would
I'm
love
there.
that.
I'm always looking for people to go on hikes with.
I'm your girl. Love
Okay,
it. Okay, cool. This is great. I'm so excited that we got to do this and talk about Monmouth County. So where can people find you? How can they get in touch with you?
Absolutely. So I also have a YouTube channel. You can check me out on YouTube, Jenna Cavadas, hyphen Realtor. And I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. You can email me. Basically, if you find me anywhere, I think my
Okay.
profile picture is the same. So it should be easy to find me. And however you get in touch, people can also just text me directly. You can put
Okay.
that.
All right. I'll put all of your information in in the description box below this video. So people want to make a move, they know
Perfect.
how to get a hold of you.
And the next thing we have to do is flip this around, and I have to interview you on Bergen County.
Okay, cool.
Great. We'll do that.
Yeah, for sure. We will do that.
Like
All right.
what's it like moving from Bergen to another part of the state? We'll do that.
Yeah. Awesome. Jenna, thank you so much. This is good stuff. I'm so excited about
Oh, you're
this.
so welcome. It was so good to see you, Jackie.
Great seeing you, Jenna, and we'll see you soon.